This is the word of the Lord from January 24th, 2026. When something happens, it's a manifestation of what is inside. A manifestation is a symptom or a sign of what is inside that person, which means when someone says something outwardly, they have first spoken those words inwardly. When someone acts in anger towards others, it is because they are angry with themselves. When someone hurts others, it's because they are hurt themselves. What you show as a sign or symptom or a manifestation is what has been produced in you and is now ready to come out of you. So if you have spoken seeds of hate, then eventually those seeds will grow inside of you and then outwardly will produce the words of hate or the actions of hate. Each seed grows at different rates. Some grow faster than others. Sometimes it takes longer to grow based on how much hatred you are sowing to yourself to then reap that harvest of hatred. Some it grows slowly over time and then it comes up unexpectedly. Even that person may not have known that hatred was there or that anger was there, but they have been planting those seeds for months or years. Then it comes out in what they think is suddenly, but suddenly to us is just the appointed time of harvest. We plant a seed and check it every day and see nothing. Every day, just the ground, and we keep watering, but we see nothing but the ground. And then after weeks or months of watering and watching and waiting, suddenly a sprout comes forth. Yet what we don't know is the process of growth has been occurring the whole time. Everything and everyone is in a process of growth for seeds that produce trees of righteousness or trees of unrighteousness. Everything is growing whether you see it or not. And sin grows whether you see it or not. The sin has been there under the surface growing just like the seed you planted. And when it comes forth, you see the signs or symptoms or manifestation of that sin. The signs are those actions, and the root cause shows us what was planted. So as a person that plants anger, the manifestation of that anger will be visible signs that they are angry, raising their voice and speaking in a loud, uncontrollable way. And they will do this because they are angry. And when they start to manifest that anger, it has started to show. And unless addressed, they will move to the next level with their anger and now display their anger at another level, such as throwing or hitting things. And then if still unaddressed, the anger will continue to grow to the next level. As we are called to be trees of righteousness, which means we grow and grow until we reach maturity, and trees take many years to grow. So sin keeps growing and growing and goes to worse and worse levels when unaddressed. That is why when a tree of unrighteousness is found and examined, it is cut down and thrown in the fire, because it is of no use and has matured in sin and evil and wickedness for years upon years. For even Cain started with anger by his offering being rejected, and then his anger was spoke in words against his brother, and then in his anger he took his brother's life. So a manifestation is a sign that sin has been planted and it has grown and now can be seen. These sins must be addressed at the root, and then full deliverance can take place. But just know, by the time you see it, the sin has already existed for some time. The sin has been watered and waiting to come forth for some time. The sin that is seen has been growing for some time. That is why it is better to not see and believe. You don't need to see sin, because by the time you see it, it has already manifested and come forth. You need to address the seeds before they have time to grow. That is how we speak what is right and plant seeds of righteousness and uproot all the seeds of sin so we never see them come forth. That is what we must do to not allow sin to take root in us and cause defilement by those sins growing inside of us beneath the surface. For we know that we judge the fruit, but we are responsible for what fruit we are producing. We aren't responsible for others and what they produce, but only what we produce. And we must not sow any seeds of sin that could produce fruit of unrighteousness. This is our responsibility, and this is what we must do. Realize that suddenly is not suddenly, but only thought as suddenly to those who only see something when it happens. But we must know that suddenly is not when something started, is not when something happens. We must know that we call out what we cannot see. We address what we cannot see as it is revealed to us, because that is the true timeline of when something started. This is what my people must know and what they must understand. This is the will of the Lord, to operate in truth, not only by what you see, but what I have made known to you, declares the Lord. Amen.